Hey Bobcat Nation, it's time once again for the Bobcat Coaches Corner, and we've got a good one for you today. The first time this season for Georgia College softball. Going to recap that regular season, hopefully look forward to a Southeast Regional bid. Going to talk with Jamie Grodecki, an All-American center fielder. That's right, All-American center fielder in Whitney Okvist. And we'll be coming at you right now. Hey Bobcat fans, we're here for another Bobcat Coaches Corner. Got Jamie Grodecki with me, and that must mean we're talking some Bobcat softball. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so the regular season has come to a close. You've also played the Peach Belt Conference Tournament as well. And we're kind of crossing those fingers and holding on with white knuckles for a hopeful regional bid. But tell me about the season so far. What grade would you give it?
What grade would I give it?
Yeah, do you have any academia in your background, any professor work or anything like that?
Maybe a B plus, A minus, maybe.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, that's a good solid go. Looking at the team, just looking from position to position in your starters and your regulars, there's such a wide array of grades, or class level, I should say. Mm-hmm. You got seniors out there, juniors all the way down to sophomores and freshmen, and you're utilizing so many different pieces there. Do you think that bodes well for the program, not only right now because you have experience and inexperience, battling it out, but also for the future because you're going to have people that'll, see a lot of softball.
Right. Well, the kids on the pitching mound, I've got freshmen and sophomores there, so obviously I think, I hope we still have more left this year to prove ourselves, but I think the future definitely is bright there. And like you said, I only have 3 seniors, so I think we still got some good ball to play in the future for sure.
Well, you mentioned the 3 seniors, and they're pretty important ones too.
Right.
And let's fire through each individual one. Emily Hammond, while it hasn't seen a whole lot of playing field time, is a key defensive replacement for you there at second base. Does some great slap work from the left side, and also is a top-notch pinch running option for you too. I mean,
right.
she's going to see some time in ball games even if she doesn't start, right?
Correct. She's always going to get in there at some point in time each game.
And a little bit of boost from a leadership standpoint and positive momentum and those sorts of things come from Emily. I don't think I've ever seen her without a smile on her face.
I don't know that I have either, even when I try, I think. No, she's a really good kid. She definitely keeps the dugout up, and like you said, she knows at some point in time she always needs to be ready because she's going to be inserted to the game in some form or fashion. And
another one for us, outfielder Whitney Horton. She's in her second year with the Bobcats, and last season she saw a little bit of playing time early, and then kind of got lost in the shuffle of some pretty solid outfield. And then this year, again, starting early and pretty much throughout the season, off and on, she'll catch some starts in those doubleheaders. She provides a lot of power and really can change a ball game with one swing of the bat, can't she?
Yes, obviously. If you watched the game this weekend, pinch hit home run.
That was the. I did catch that on the video there on Ustream from the Peach Belt Conference, and that was one of the hardest hit softballs I think I have ever seen. She caught the scoreboard, I believe, just the very top of it. Nearly
yes.
Cleared the thing and probably put a sizable dent in it as well.
Yeah, the umpire, he was even impressed. He was like, wow, that was a shot. I'm like, yeah, I need 2 more of those. Who else is going to be bringing those?
That's all.
Yeah.
But, so Whitney Horton, again, with a live bat, and you pull her in for some pinch hitting options and also some time out there in right and left field. But let's look at Whitney Okvist as well. And I know we talked about her on the radio show and on multiple other occasions, but I mean, she'll probably go down as one of the best, if not the best, softball player here in Georgia College history.
Yeah, not looking forward to filling her shoes, but no, she has been a huge contributor for this program, and it seems like even at the conference tournament, if she doesn't get on base, we just don't score. So I don't really know how we're going to score next year without her. But no, the good trend is that as she's a very good leadoff, when she does get on, we do tend to score. She's a tough out, and she's a great defender. So yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I think is so special about Whitney is not only the stolen bases, which are kind of the marquee thing for her. She's got the Peach Belt record, the school record, and also is in the top 5 and all-time in NCAA Division II. But you add in also, she's our career run scored leader. She's our career hits leader as well. Right. And you can't ask for anything more from a leadoff hitter than to score runs and get on base by hitting the ball. I mean, just a prototypical leadoff hitter for softball, isn't it?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, Whitney, the thing that kind of gets lost in that shuffle is that defense that you're talking about. She utilizes that speed well to get underneath balls, but also has a little bit of a hose out there in center field too, doesn't she?
She does. And it's nice to have balls hit in the air and just go, oh, that's caught, and not have to hope and pray. And she can make some fly balls look very routine. Pretty
much if it's hit to center and it's not over the fence, it's going to get caught.
It's got a chance to get caught for sure. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, so the 3 seniors, and then, from there on down, as I mentioned, you got so many different pieces and at different grade levels here. One of the things that has kind of been a theme for you for this year, and actually a good chunk of last year too, was come from behind victories. Right. Do you think that might be a factor? Yeah, I see the roll of the eyes. Coach not too happy about that. She'd rather just get a 4-run lead in the first and carry it from there. But the come from behind wins, do you think that might be a factor of all the youth that you have playing, that they just don't know any better than to be scared in situations like that?
Probably. I have no idea. There is not any other, I cannot communicate to them any more than what I do, that this is stressful and not necessary. But no, I feel like, we got 7 innings to play and we got a chance to win at any point in time. So it's good that we never let up. I don't like to wait till the last minute, but I know even coming down to the last out, we still have a chance.
And one of the things that has been surprising, at least for me, strength for you this year is your fielding. You lose a big piece in Natalie Bellantoni at shortstop last year, a big leader for you defensively, and really haven't lost a whole lot from the error standpoint with sliding Kristen Brooks over there from third and again plugging in more pieces around it to fit the defense. Did you think you would have this solid a defensive squad this year?
Well, you hope, and I know we've got a good team. I have depth. I think that's kind of been a thing. Even I think more this year even than last year, as we've had kids step in when someone wasn't hitting as well or someone was injured or for so many different reasons. When someone didn't play, the person who was playing got it done. So I just think we've that's been a good thing for us and a hope and an expectation. But I'm definitely happy to see it has turned out so well.
Does the ability for the come from behind victories and all of the win in the close contests as well as the blowouts, does that make you feel good about tournament play at all? The idea that you're never really out of a contest necessarily? That's kind of
the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning. They're always interesting for us. Of course, the last 4 or 5 games they haven't gone our way, but I think hopefully with some more postseason play, I know we've got a shot all the way up to the last out. So.
All right, well, we'll find out a little bit more about the season for Georgia College softball and also look forward a little bit in just a moment. We'll be right back after this break with some more Georgia College softball.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic. and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey there, Bobcat Nation. We're back after the break. Got some more Georgia College softball talk. Coach, we talked a little bit about the season so far and all the pieces that you have in place. Let's go to the circle. We haven't actually talked about your solid pitchers that you have there this year, and it's nice to know that you have a freshman and a sophomore that it can go out there and give you pretty much strong starts just about every time they head out.
You got it. And this year, talking about that, last year we managed to pull off some wins, and I would look at our numbers and say, how are we doing this? And this year we're actually in the top 3 or 4 in our conference in ERA and batting average, and those numbers that should say you should win those games, So that's good. I mean, like you said, when you're going into a competition and you compare numbers, you got a shot no matter who you're playing.
Sure. Well, okay, so the 2 pitchers that you've used more often than not, going to be the freshman Carly Lewis, the sophomore Marissa Boyette, seem to be different styles of pitchers. And can you tell us a little bit about the 2 and maybe how they differ and how they're the same?
Well, Marissa tends to more kind of hit you in and up a good bit, and Carly goes a little, kind of can hit inside and outside part of the plate and a little more off speed and go down a little bit more. So, like you said, they just complement each other. When one is, having a little bit of trouble with a hitter, I know I can come in with the other to mix it up on the other side of the plate or a little more off speed.
And that's what makes it good for this tournament style play too. Is a lot of the teams will have to, a solidified number 1 pitcher that they're going to have to ride for the entire postseason. And for you, it's going to be a little bit of a question mark as to who you're throwing out there each day. And I know it creates some challenges for you, but it also creates some challenges for the opposition, doesn't it?
Right, exactly. And, you can mix them up however you want in softball, because if I take one out, whoever started, I can put her back in. So therefore, I can kind of vary it up however I want. Again, like you said, it's sometimes it's good to just know who that one is, but then having more than one does allow you to have some leeway. And I've always kind of preached with my kids and my pitchers, we're a pitching staff, and we're going to win as a staff, not just as one person.
You did have 4 members on the all-conference team this year, which is a pretty good number for Georgia College softball. Haven't had that many in quite some time. So you got Okvist, we already talked about her. And also on the first team was Taylor Campbell over there at third base. And Taylor provides a powerful bat, some solid defense, and is going to be, a pretty good player once she's all said and done here, and even she already kind of is, isn't she?
Correct. Yeah, I think her tournament, her all-conference award is based mostly on her offense. She does have a very strong bat, a lot of pop. Third base, she's just settling in there this year, so just kind of threw in there and said, "Do it." And she's working her way through that. So, but offensively, she's always been a strong threat for us.
It was a slow start to Taylor's season. First couple of weeks, she was struggling to find hits and kind of flipped the switch, about a month in, and has really been hot since. Was there something in the mechanics, or was it something in the gray matter between the ears? What were we working on with Taylor?
I'm sure it's more upstairs than it is anywhere else. So, fortunately for us, it started to come on when we started conference play, and she's done really well against them. Again, when she wasn't hitting that well, somebody else was. And then when she started hitting, that's kind of been the story of the season. Again, it makes it hard for me because I don't know who it is today that's going to be the one. But I know anybody has a chance to, so that's great.
Abby Leroy is a great offensive weapon for you, has played some outfield and some second base. You don't normally get that kind of production out of a second baseman, so it's nice to see offense like that level out of a second baseman. And she's in her second year on the all-conference team as well. And what does Abby bring to the table as a player?
She is the toughest out probably on the team. So I know when she comes up to bat, pitchers have to kind of not like it a little bit. She's kind of just our go-to kid on the RBI column. She's not quite as much power as she is more gap to gap, and but she's just a leader. She's solid. She's a winner. She's a fighter.
And you had seen a lot of her in the second slot and the third slot. Down the stretch, kind of moved her down to that cleanup role, and you seem to like her there, and she's driving in some runs for you with those shots to the gap. Is that going to be her role to keep for a little while here?
Well, we've been toying with her and Taylor in the 3-4 hole, so I don't know. Today I don't know.
Got the dartboard at home,
yeah,
and you're
exactly.
just picking
Every
out
day
the
I come up with
lineup.
a new plan, so I can tell you she'll be in the lineup. That's all I know.
Okay, I like that. How about Danielle Bernstein, freshman, and kind of unheralded coming in, and really had an outstanding rookie season. Hit the ball as another slapper on that left side. Got a few of those, and does a good job setting the table, and just some blistering speed as well. I've talked about it on the broadcast and with Wendell that you put her and Okvist in a straight-up foot race. She might give her a run for her money.
She's going to give her a run for money. I'm not sure who's going to win. I think Okvist might edge her
all
out right now, but I don't know. Don't hold me to that.
We've got Whitney on the show later. Maybe
Yeah, we'll
I'll
find
pose
out.
that same question to her.
Yeah. So, but yeah, coming in as a freshman, she's more than met her expectations for us, and that's great because, like you said, the future should be pretty bright for that kid.
And I've got to think, just looking as a fan and being around the softball program for a bit, is there a good chance that she might slide over into center and in the leadoff role perhaps for you next year, depending upon what you bring in?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would probably be a good expectation for her. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
a
see.
lot of
They gotta earn it
softball
every
and
year.
a whole
Yeah.
recruiting class coming in, and fall ball and all those sorts of things. But
Right.
yeah, again, just looking at your program, it seems like a pretty natural fit.
Right.
All right, so looking forward, we're hoping against hope for that regional at-large bid, and the last rankings, it looked pretty solid for us. Only one loss and 2 victories actually since that last poll came out. And so, I mean, this is such a tough region. It seems like a lot of teams going to the World Series. And, what do you think about your standing? How comfortable are you? It's never comfortable unless you got one of those automatic bids. But,
Right.
Do you feel like you have a shot at regionals? And also, do you feel like if you get there that you could make some noise?
Well, I think we definitely have a shot to get in. I think it's a 6 seed. Some things have to happen that we don't expect for us not to get in. But obviously, like you said, nothing's for sure until it's for sure. So we'll know that in a week or so. But we're going to plan and practice and prepare like we're going. And if we get there, that's the whole goal, is to get there. And if once you're there, anybody's got a shot. So for us, it's just be there and hope it all comes together that weekend. I think that's pretty much all you can hope for.
The Peach Belt Conference hosts their conference tournament a little bit earlier than the other 2 conferences in the league, so we've got actually a couple weeks off until the announcement here. But so the Conference Carolinas and the South Atlantic Conference are hosting their conference tournaments this weekend, and that'll kind of help flesh everything out. And after this weekend, we should have a pretty darn good idea if we're going to make that region tournament. Again, similar record to last year when you did make it. Had some pretty good, a pretty good run there. Went I think 1-2 last year, if I remember correctly, and knocked out a team. So I mean, the Georgia College team has since you've taken over been one of those squads that can pretty much beat anybody on any given day, and that's got to give you some confidence heading in. Well, our time here has come to a close for Jamie Grodecki. We've got Whitney Okvist after the break. Thanks for being with us, Coach. Appreciate it. All right, so we'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back with the senior center fielder here on the Bobcat Coach's Corner.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Daddy, I'm gonna find you.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
Hey, Bobcat fans, we're back here after the break. Got Whitney Okvist with us. Thanks for being with us.
Of course.
All right, got the senior outfielder, and of course, we'll start with your bread and butter, that stolen base. Going into the college career and getting recruited, I believe it was by Coach Chaffinch that you got recruited by to come in, and then switching things over, and with the new coaching staff, and also that role of the leadoff hitter pretty much from day one. Did you expect to have that starting job right away? And
I mean, you never know coming into college where you're going to be and how you're going to do. So I just tried to do my best, and then once I got placed there, I just tried to keep my spot and keep doing what I'm doing so I can, be a good asset to the team. So
does the stolen base provide like a source of pride for you? Is it something that, when you're on first base, you're looking for it pretty much every time?
It does. I mean, the main thing is I have to get on to steal.
Sure.
So I worry about my hitting more than stealing, because once I steal, it's just like I have that base in my head, and all I'm doing is running, and I just put my head down. It comes easy to me, but the hitting part is what I really try to work on the most, because you have to get on to steal. So
there's a little bit more mechanics and things that way. But so tell me about the hitting, because you're also our school's leader in base hits as well. And how did that develop for you? And the slap hitting, how do you work on your timing? What sort of mechanisms are you using there?
The timing is the biggest part with slapping, because the different pitchers that you face, they'll have different speeds, and you have to change your timing, and it's tough. But as a slapper, there's so many things you can do. You can bunt, you can, chop it, like you can hit it a little blooper. There's so many things you can do. So I think that's a good thing for slappers, because there's just so many different opportunities that you have to get on. So I just, try to read my defense and do whatever I can going from there.
What I've always been impressed with is the ability to still slap on an off-speed pitch. Because you mentioned about the change from one pitcher to the next as far as speed goes, but one pitcher can change speeds considerably.
Yes.
How do you keep all your stuff back, and is it just a recognition of what pitch is coming at you and then working from there? You
can try and read the pitch, but really when I'm on deck, I try to get my timing down there first, because I can, better see it before I actually get in the box. But I don't know. It's hard. When you get up there, you don't really know what they're going to throw. And I've been here for 4 years, so I kind of, know sort of what situation I'm in and what they might throw to me. So it's all about just keeping my feet in one step, and it's tough.
So now you're on first base after you got that single, and we're thinking stolen base. Is there even a worthwhile signal coming from Coach Grodecki, or do you just ignore her completely?
No, I always look for the signal.
All right.
Yeah, she's always gives me a signal, and this year it was the scouting report, I guess, said that the first two pitches that I usually go. So we've kind of waited a couple pitches before I go, just so I have a better chance of getting there. But
of course, if any of the teams see this, we might switch that up for the postseason. So look out. But so again, you're looking for that first movement, that initial movement, and that break. Of course, you have to worry about not leaving early, because you get called out for that as well. And then you get down to second base. I've seen a lot of your efforts on the hook slide and reaching back and grabbing the bag that way. Is that something that you find to be successful for you?
Yes, depending on where the shortstop comes in. If they're covering the bag, sometimes I'll try to go around or just sliding straight in. But it just depends on where they're at, just so I can make it there in time.
And then, of course, one of the biggest things for you is scoring runs as well. I mean, you're also our school's leader in that career category, too. Obviously, that results in direct points on the scoreboard and hopefully victories as well. Do you see that as maybe the biggest thing that you do for a Georgia College squad, is because it affects the outcome the most?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When I get on base, I think that it's, better for our team, and it's a great asset to be able to steal a base and not waste an out. And then, 2 hits and I'm in. So that's just what I have in my mind usually, and it usually helps us out pretty good.
This season for you, I talked with Coach Grodecki a little bit about this in the first 2 segments, but there's a lot of diversity as far as class grade goes. You're 3 seniors, and you got a couple juniors that are starting as well, sophomores and freshmen. How has the team chemistry been? Because you got, you as a senior are dealing with some different things than the incoming freshmen in their first year at college.
Right. Well, your freshman year is always, the toughest, I think, and we have a pretty young team, but I say our team chemistry is great. We all get along really well. We all bond really great. We have a lot of opportunities to bond together, so we're with each other 24/7. So we have to get along.
Now, there were some things that you guys do in the fall that are a little bit different as far as like some team grouping and team bonding stuff. What do you do as a team when they first get on campus?
We usually take a team bonding trip with the whole team, and the coaches go as well. They plan it. And one year we went whitewater rafting, and it's just a time for us to really get to know each other, because we haven't really, felt each other out before, and we just, get to see what they're all about and pretty much, start from there. So it's our starting point with all the new people coming in, and I think it's a great idea, and it really helps our team out.
I see you as having some whitewater rafting skills, just
yes.
the quick reaction time and those sorts of things. Is that an area of success for you?
Oh yeah, and it's definitely competitive. Anywhere we go, it's competitive. So.
Very nice, very nice. Let's switch gears to the academic side of things. I know that you're a special education major, which is a very impressive vocation to try and take on. I know that you work over at Blandy Hills Elementary, and you're doing your student teaching where my kids go. So what made you decide on wanting that type of major and taking on that sort of challenge?
Well, I've always wanted to be a teacher since I was young. In high school, I did a lot of field experience in the elementary schools around where I lived, and I came to Georgia College for the education program because it's such a great program, and it's very competitive. So, from there on, I started out as early childhood, and then I kind of got a feel for special education, and I just really enjoyed it, and I loved being around the kids. So it just went from there, and it stuck with me. So.
Absolutely. Well, what's the career goals? What level of special ed do you want to teach? High school, middle school, elementary, or what sort of things do you want to do with this degree?
My heart's always been with elementary school children, so I want to stay in the elementary school area, and then also I'd like to be in a classroom with kids with autism, but we'll see where it takes me. I don't know. Okay,
well, wonderful. Now, do the program with special education, are there extra classes or anything to help work with autistic kids? Is it a specific? Because I know that's a area of focus. I know worldwide and nationwide for us is to make sure that the education is up to par for those guys.
Right. We take a ton of classes throughout our 2 years in the cohort, and it teaches us how to teach the kids, be around them and help them socially and behaviorally, and how to handle these kids. And we also have to pass a certification test to be in a self-contained classroom like that. So once we do that, we're pretty much set, and this program really does help you to be out there in the real world with these kids. So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, look for Whitney Okvist, both stealing bases and perhaps in a classroom coming near you someday soon. We got waiting on the regional announcement, folks. The season, as far as we play right now, has come to a close, and we're hoping to get that at-large bid to the Southeast Regional. Announcement should be coming sometime in the next couple of weeks, the official announcement on that. Stay tuned to gcbobcats.com, and we'll tell you hopefully when and where this softball team is going to continue their season. For Whitney Okvist, for head coach Jamie Grodecki, our time here has come to a close here on the Bobcat Coach's Corner.